Hey, Danny Ray with Pinnacle Quote Life Insurance Specialist. Just wanted to touch base with you today about a situation that I actually had today with a client of mine or a potential client that was not sure if he'd get life insurance. It was actually a spouse of a client that pretty much said that I can't get life insurance. I have MS, which is multiple sclerosis. So I'm here to tell you that you can get life insurance. You know, it's although challenging because it is a complicated autoimmune disease. All right, you can still get life insurance. It's very possible to qualify. You know, there are factors that they do take into account to basically to see which rate you qualify for. Okay, like any other high risk life insurance, which here at Pinnacle Quote we specialize in. You know, any high risk impairment, there's going to be questions and answers, and it all depends, how far off you are in that health impairment. So I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right across the board, about 15 carriers, fully underwritten policies. If it's suspected MS but not confirmed, you're a table rated policy. You're probably not going to get preferred or standard especially if it's within the last 4 years. But again, if it's suspected MS, all right, and it's over 4 years, okay, standard rates, possibly preferred rates apply with certain carriers. So you're right up there with the best rates in the country. Now, if it's definitely MS, you're probably looking at, if it's under 2 years, it's going to be, they're going to crack you over the head with a rate. It's going to be a table rated policy, close to being declined, but, probably a table 5 or a table 6. Okay, 3 to 5 is your table 4. Okay, obviously, if you have severe abnormalities, it's a decline. Okay, because it puts you at risk. Normally, if you have definite MS and it's over 10 years, you can pretty much get the same rate as a sort of well-managed diabetic gets. Okay, but just to go over some of the underwriting, that the questions they probably will ask you when you have MS. Are you taking any medications? That's going to be something that's important to them. Have you done any kinds of treatment in the past? It could be any kind of any treatment, really. It can be holistic treatment, medications, physical therapy treatments, new treatments, stuff like that. Do you smoke? Okay, smoking does have an effect. Clinical studies say that smoking has an effect on MS. Has your MS improved or gotten worse over time? Okay, so that also has something to do with it as well. Okay, and how long How long has it been since you had your last attack? Sorry about that. I got a phone call coming in. I have to wait. And how many seizures have you had? Okay, in the past, and then when was the last seizure? So it's very important for you to be honest with your answers when you talk to underwriters, because you got to remember they're billion-dollar corporations. They're going to find out. They have ways of finding out. Okay, so it's very, very important that you're completely honest. Okay, and you're very thorough with the description of MS that you do have. Okay, remember. We're talking about impaired risk categories with life insurance, so they're really going to check it out. Okay, now multiple sclerosis can be broken down into 4 phases actually. Okay, clinically isolated syndrome, which these are the first symptoms causing the swelling of CNS. All right, in the CNS. Okay, relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis (MS). This course is most common. The symptoms may worsen, more attacks generally follow. Okay, then you got secondary progressive MS. Okay, this phase usually follows relapsing, readmitting MS. At this point, one's MS is labeled as active or inactive. Okay, then you got the primary progressive MS, the most intense course. Okay, damage to the spinal cord affects everyday life. Again, that's severe abnormalities. All right, now the question is, which MS are you in? Okay, again, if you're not number 4, the primary progressive, okay, I can get you a policy. All right, it all depends on treatment and how long it's been since you had it, and if it's definite MS. All right. Now, as far as quotes are concerned, while applying for life insurance, the life insurance company will decide how severe the MS is. And again, here at Pinnacle Quote, we are experts in underwriting. We know the carriers that give you the best guidelines in your favor as far as MS is concerned. Okay, so it all comes down to how severe your MS is. They all have different guidelines. Every carrier is going to look at it differently. Some carriers won't even bother with the risk. All right, but we have carriers out there that will go ahead and assume the risk and take on the risk. Okay, they specialize in this. All right. Now, Now, it's very unlikely you probably get preferred, or preferred ratings, but it's very possible to get a standard rating. Although people with MS are generally going to receive a substandard rating, like I said before. If you're 2 to 3 years past of diagnosis, the farther you go on, if it's not progressing, the better your rate will get. Okay, so again, I'm just looking at the guidelines right here. You're even non-medical is available for people with MS. Okay, moderate MS, table 2 to decline, and mild to standard to table 2, which again, that's a diabetic rate. All right. So with that being said, remember that if you are declined, if you ever gotten a decline from an insurance carrier, or if we go and you do have severe abnormalities, okay, where you're unable to get a regular term policy, on my last topic, the last video I made, 2 videos ago actually, about the guaranteed issue life insurance is always there as a backup. Okay, remember, if you need life insurance, I can get you a policy. It doesn't matter if you've had stage 4 cancer. There are policies out there that are guaranteed, but it's how much price you're going to want to pay, and they're limited on how much face amount you get. Okay, normally it's usually enough to bury you and cover loose ends, which is a big deal. You don't want that burden, that financial burden, to drop in your kids' laps or your spouse's laps at the worst possible time, because nobody's got $25,000 earmarked somebody else's funeral sitting in a bank account. Okay, it's a financial burden. And that's what life insurance is about, And remember, here at Pinnacle Quote, we can answer any of the questions regarding life insurance with MS. Okay, again, we know exactly who the carriers are to go to in reference to multiple sclerosis. Okay, and again, we remember, guidelines are guidelines. They're not rules. They're not laws. They're rules. Okay, so rules are made to be bent. It's all about how you package it, okay, to the underwriter, and how you negotiate with the underwriter. Okay, just today, I just made a video earlier. I mean, just to give you an idea what I'm talking about, I had a client come back with asthma that that got rated a standard rate. Rate was $3,800 a year. And again, it took me a week, but I rolled up my sleeves, got my elbows dirty, and fought for that client because I know that client deserved a better rate. And lo and behold, a week later, after phone calls and going above people's heads, I got her rate back to preferred select preferred for $1,800. I saved that client $40,000 over 20 years. Now, I've been doing this a long time. Most agents wouldn't even take on the burden of fighting for a week for a client, because bottom line, that takes money out of my pocket. But it's not. It doesn't matter who. Money's not everything. Okay, it's about doing the right thing for the client. Okay, so if I believe that you deserve a rate, I will bite, scratch, and claw to get the best rate for you. All right, so with that said, that's a little bit on MS, multiple sclerosis. I'll be giving you guys a video pretty much on health impairments consistently and different carriers and stuff like that. You can visit us at pinnaclequote.com. Our blog is about to be launched. I'm very excited about that because, again, I've written tons of articles about impairments and things of that nature, things that you can read about and educate yourself on life insurance. Okay, so you can visit us at pinnaclequote.com. Also, you can give me a call anytime at 855-380-3300, extension 2. Again, it's Danny Ray with Pinnacle Quote Life Insurance Specialist. And anything you need, feel free to give me a call. I look forward to hearing from you, and make it a great day and be safe.